So then, a glorious day at the Stadio Lanfranchi, 22 degrees and perfect for the visit of Munster to Zebre. Gavin Coombs on the day of his 100th appearance for Munster. Big day for the Skibbereen man as Zebre ready to arrive onto the pitch, their first home game of the season. And the home side make their way to the Stadio Lanfranchi. Munster already in position and waiting. First home game of the season is Danilo Fischetti, the captain, leads the way. Holly Davidson leads the officials. And we are almost ready to go at the start of round 2 of the United Rugby Championship in Italy. It's Zebre against Munster. Holly Davidson is the referee. Alex Frasson, the RD run the lines, and a Welshman, Neil Hennessy, is the television match official. So then, Giovanni Montemauri will get us underway. Zebre last week beaten by Cardiff away by 22 points to 17. Munster, of course, that roller coaster ride against Connacht where they came out on top by 35 points to 33. Let's hope for an open, entertaining game in the glorious sunshine of Parma. Gavin Coombs, 100 caps for Munster today. Big carry, as always, as so many of his 100 caps, and a big day for the man who puts boot to ball. Tony Butler making the start for Munster, taking over from Billy Burns, who is injured. Munster making 4 changes in all from the team started last week out. So Billy Burns, Nankiville both injured. Lockman and Ryan out of the front row and onto the bench in their place. Butler at out half, Nash on the wing, and Jager and Josh Wycherley into the front row. Alongside me, Alan Quinlan. Munster, well, you could say they maybe dodged a bullet last week. There was a rustiness there. They'll be expecting an improvement in consistency of performance today, and hopefully the same level of excitement.
So, some part of it understanding as well, Ryle, with it being the first game. You know, both defence coaches from both sides last week would be really disappointed with some of the tackles. You know, it was a great game to watch, but yeah, that rust is there for a lot of teams. We saw some great games last week. Munster will want to be tighter. That'll be the message all week. The Zebre team can attack. They have a very dangerous back three, and Munster started well. Gavin Coombs, you mentioned, 100 caps, 2 really positive carries so far. They'll need him today to make inroads.
Casey gets the ball from Barron. That wasn't a particularly good pass, but it was picked up by Tom Farrell. Another change in that Farrell was 13 last week, starts at 12 this week because Shane Daly is at 13. Out wide is Abrahams. Great to see him in attacking mode as he pirouettes Zebo-esque out of one tackle, and then Butler gets caught in possession. Good line speed from Zebre, knocks Munster backwards. Mike Haley had a good game last week, scored a try, of course, against Connacht. And Munster are up for throwing it around. As I say that, Gavin Coombs sees some space, kicks it downfield, but Prisciantelli, the Argentinian fullback who 30 carries last week for Zebre, kicks the ball downfield. Here he is again. Munster up in a line, a little dink over the top, moves onto it. It's taken by Abrahams, steps back inside. He really is electric when he gets the ball in hand. I'm not sure his feet know what he's going to do next. Never mind anybody else trying to defend him.
Yeah, he's so elusive. Any sort of space he wants to attack.
Let it go.
Oli Davidson ensuring that Zebre get away from it. Her 15th United Rugby Championship game. Hodding it out wide. He's got pace. Runs directly along that tram line. Sets Munster on the way. Engaging opening 3.5 minutes. Lots of ball in play. Munster probing around the sides. And just as I say it, the ball from Nash to Hodden. It doesn't go to hand, but we'll go back for a penalty. Decent opening salvo from Munster.
Yeah, it's a good start. Great shape in their attack. I think, yeah, with Samuele Locatelli a couple of moments ago, came out of the line and stopped that little wraparound pass for Tony Butler. The ball went forward, play on. I think Munster got the advantage, but it was a really important tackle by him. The Zebra number 7 stopped certain line break. There was a lot of numbers out wide, but as I said, the shape has been good. A lot of possession from Munster there, and we mentioned Abrahams. He's touched the ball a few times. Nash, Mike Haley, they're getting some width in their game.
4 changes for Munster for the starting 15 last week. 4 changes also for Zebre. There were only supposed to be 3, but Bettacini, the centre, injured in warm-up, so in comes Scott Gregory into the midfield wearing 13 for him. The other changes in the front row: Rizzoli out, Fischetti in, and at scrum half Jelic out, Fusco in, and on the wing Cambrini out, and in comes Simone Gesi for his first game of the season. Munster marched to the 22 through the maul. Farrell, and that one was just a matter of taking your eye off it, knocked forward and turned over, and Zebre opportunity to turn defence into attack immediately. Back into the Munster half. One small mistake and you find yourself 15 yards, 20 yards back from where you started.
Yeah, it was a sloppy pass. I think floaty in the air, Calvin Nash, but they've got to be conscious of this. Zebre will try and attack. They scored a lot of tries last year, didn't have a successful year, finished bottom of the table, but we saw them score brilliant tries. So the last thing Munster want to do is start turning the ball over. They had a lot of turnovers last week.
Nice variation at the front. 1 win, 1 draw, 16 losses last season. But crucially from Zebre's perspective, 9 bonus points, which tells you that we're there or thereabouts more often than not. They just couldn't finish it out. Of course, under a new coach now, Massimo Brunello, who's come up from the under-20s, the national under-20s, where he's had a reasonable amount of success, Brunello, and he takes over from Fabio Rosselli.
Yeah, talk about the mistakes. That was an error there from Bartolomeo. Just poor crooked throw on the line out. They went to go to the front. Just give Munster a chance. Haven't really had any possession. It's only 6 minutes gone for sure, but it's Munster look like they're controlling the tempo, the pace, the attack.
Messy, but Coombs happy to play the game. On it goes, and from Butler to Abrahams, who threads it through, but again well positioned. This time it's Jacopo Trulla, one of a very exciting back 3 for Zebre. Real concern about one of the Munster players. I think it might be Abrahams after that kick. No, it's not.
Yeah, Shane Daly. I saw the white boots. I thought it was Abrahams as well. He looks in a bit of distress, doesn't he?
He sure
Concerned
does.
faces there.
Daly playing on the 13 channel. Outside centre today, of course, played on the wing last week, scored a try, but there's been all sorts of shift in that Munster backline. Let's see if we can see what happened. Regularly, oh, that was just a real strain. There was nothing in it. Just the way he fell there, the tackle from Luca Morisi didn't do the damage. It was the engagement with the floor that did.
Yeah, and you think those ones they seem innocuous, but he's in a lot of pain. There was no physical force. He's done some sort of damage there, Shane Daly. This is a blow. We could see Brian Fitzgerald coming on, or Shane McCarthy if they have to make a change. Brian Fitzgerald, who got a short-term contract this year with Munster. Was a standout for Gary Owen last year in the AIL. He could be coming on. Maybe Shane Daly is okay. Hopefully he is. Oh, I think he's going off, yeah. Yeah, he is on. Brian Fitzgerald, really exciting player. He's 25. He played schools with Calvin Nash. A late developer, you could say, but a real talented player. Someone who's taken his chance to get involved in the senior squad.
Hopefully not too serious for Shane Daly, but as you say, opportunity knocks for Brian Fitzgerald. Munster competitive debut for him. There's already lots of change in that Munster backline. Only Haley and Casey were in the positions last week against Connacht. Everybody else was either replaced or had to move position, and now there's readjustment again.
Okay, 9, use it!
At the feet of Alessandro Fusco, the 17 times international cap scrum half instead of the break, which couldn't link up with Simone Gesi over on that far side. The warning sign for Munster defensively, they got to keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah, they had numbers there. They were just expecting that kick, weren't they? There was a bit of a gap there. Wycherley and Casey scrambled back pretty well, but a sloppy line out pre that from Munster. No contest in the air, just a timing wrong. Finian Wycherley went through his hands.
Nice first touch from Fitzgerald to almost set Hodnett free. Casey sweeps up and a little kick. There's this one off to watched by Prisciantelli, who had to with Munster jerseys arriving, and then it's off to Simone Gesi. He's an electrical ball in hand. Any opportunity at all. Counter-rucking from Tom Farrell, and it makes an uncomfortable ball for Zebre, but they have it nonetheless. Fusco dig it out eventually. To the air. There'll be a bit of a competition, but it's won by Butler. And it's there for Casey. The referee has seen a hand in there from the pressure of Zebre arriving to the breakdown, knocked forward by a Munster hand. Scrum to Zebre.
Yeah, and she's right there, isn't she, Holly Davidson? We couldn't really see it there. A little bit of frustration. Great take from Tony Butler, and that is a confidence booster. It was a really good kick. A lot of players around him. He was strong there. They're in on the poach.
Yeah, it's Casey.
He goes a second time, doesn't he? Right in front of the referee.
Yeah, as I say, Holly Davidson, 15th URC match, Murrayfield Wanderers woman, known as the speed bump when she was playing.
You know, she's calm as hell, isn't she? Unbelievable. She's controlled. She never loses the cool. She's done remarkably well in the last few years, and it's great to see her getting these games regularly.
Back from duty in South Africa during the summer, where she refereed South Africa against Portugal. Feet from Fusco. Really solid scrum from both sides, looking to put the squeeze on, but it's picked up by Licata, who had a terrific weekend last weekend. Right now, Zebre are on the roll, and Butler hangs on to the shorts of Trulla, just about holds him up, taken on again by Morisi, up to the Munster 22. Good start from Zebre in this opening 10 minutes. Absorbed early Munster pressure, now building pressure of their own. Prisciantelli not able to get away, but Munster have been penalised.
Yeah, and it was John Hodnett not rolling away, but that's great exploitation of space off that scrum. Licata, who's such a good player, really talented Italian international, he breaks back in field off that scrum. And again, Munster were back in their heels there. Trulla's on his shoulder, that's where they got the space. could say it's one of those ones that he could have got rewarded. You got to get clean lift off the ground there from John Hodnett. But little reminder, Munster stand off a little bit off that scrum. Not great defence, and they're going to get punished, you would imagine. With Montemauri, it's an easy enough kick for him.
Yeah, Giovanni Montemauri, one penalty last week in the game against Cardiff, in from Benetton. 23 years of age, opening opportunity for him to put some points on the board for the home team. It's been all home teams so far in round 2 of the URC. Zebre, the home side, get the first points here. Leinster beating the Dragons last night. Glasgow at home beating Benetton. Lions accounting for Ulster. The Bulls lead Edinburgh 12-10 at half-time. And now Zebre lead Munster by 3 points to 0 in the opening minutes of the game here in Parma. A couple of small pockets of Munster men and women who've made the trip on a glorious sunny afternoon. Really is, along with Benetton, one of the terrific trips if you can ever find your way there as a weekend of URC rugby. No better venues. Good break again from Zebre. Couldn't control the ball though. Munster will get put into the scrum. Tommaso Di Bartolomeo couldn't hold on. Through there as well.
Again, his footwork is just incredible. Out of nothing there. Not a lot of height and hang time in that kickoff from Tony Butler. And he's away at bar. Gavin Coombs just scrambling back a little bit and dislodging the ball.
10 times cap for Italy, Trulla. Along with Prisciantelli and Simone Gesi, really potent back three for Zebre, no doubt about that. Casey doesn't so much put the ball into the scrum as feed the second row, and he's going to have to go in and get it. Not an inch given or taken on either side on that one. Farrell. And here's the substitute, Brian Fitzgerald in. For those of you joining us late, Fitzgerald in for Shane Daly, who took a bang in the opening 6 or 7 minutes, not able to continue. That's stolen at the breakdown. And once again, it's Trulla who's involved. He's been involved in everything good that Zebre have done in the opening 13 minutes. Krumov will play scrum half. Zebre's most experienced player on the pitch, over 100 caps, 110 for Zebre now. One of 11 players to have won more than 100 caps for the Zebre team. Fusco. And to touch it goes. It's a decent clear out after Munster. Look like they might get in behind once again.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating, I'm sure, for Munster. A couple of little mistakes creeping in, but that's a brilliant turnover. It was Gregory, Scott Gregory, the New Zealander. Gavin Coombs made a potent carry there, got some space. And he just reloaded quickly, got the ball and turned it over, and pressure is released a little bit.
Diarmuid Barron, captain today, of course, at hooker. He's the one that finds his man, and in midfield is Fitzgerald, in case he goes looking for it, but goes looking for it too late as Munster are pinged for holding on, and Zebre will get the penalty. And that's a couple of breakdowns where Zebre have just caused Munster a little bit of concern.
Yeah, they've changed the momentum. Munster at the start, dominant, loads of possession, just a little bit of static there. It's Brian Fitzgerald. You're expecting a 12 to make a carry into 2-3 defenders. It's hard to win that gain line, and it was Licata getting locked onto the ball. Very experienced, quality player, good at the breakdown. And it's poor, it's predictable out of Munster there. You win the ball at the front of that line out, and you're going with that long floaty pass. You've two back rows there. Locatelli making a good tackle, and then Licata. He's so strong there in that position and gets rewarded, rightly so.
Well, Zebre pointed to the posts, and Trulla is the man who's going to take it. And this is a long, long way away. Ollie Davidson rolled it back about another 4 or 5 meters as Trulla tried to place it.
He must be confident to say that he's actually having a crack.
Ooh. It's from a different postcode. It has the legs, but it doesn't have the direction. Good effort, but it remains 3 points to nil to the home side. And from there, under those circumstances, really a kick to nothing, because it keeps Munster forced back inside their own half. Restart fall just inside the Zebre half, and we'll have to build from there. Fusco. Ball pulled back through the hands it goes, trying to get to the edge. It's not handled by Locatelli, but it is by Gesi, and he almost gets around the wide Munster defenders. Set up for Fusco again. There's a confidence in what Zebre are doing, a belief in what they're doing. They've often looked tentative and not really believed in the system that they've been playing or the way they've gone about it. But in the opening, 16 and a half minutes of this one, there's a confidence in all that they do. Munster will be keen to lay down a marker right now. Casey, off quick ball, had a look outside, decided the boot was the best option and forces Zebre right back inside. Terrific kick from the Munster scrum half, just what his side needed at that very moment, and really well executed.
Yeah, it's superb. Great counter-attack, Mike Haley. Ball is really quick here, and it's a super kick. Really brilliant kick from Casey. He identified the space. He's bouncing in out of that ruck, isn't it? It just tells you and shows you if the breakdown is resourced quickly, it's so hard to get any sort of defensive line. The opposition on the back foot. Big territorial gain there. You've got to make it count now. Get a little bit of control, you sense, from Munster. Really good carry from Ruan Quinn as well.
Really good attacking opportunity for Munster, but Zebre, to their credit, get up, make it difficult, and do better than that. They turn it over. It may well have been Canali who got a hand up there. We'll confirm that on the replay.
So poor from Munster. Really, they get away with one because the ball was knocked forward, but this level, you've just got to, you can see Diarmuid Barron, he's saying, I can't hear what the call is. He thinks people are moving there, nobody gets off the ground. So costly, because this game could well be very, very tight here. You get into a crucial position there. Ball just went forward. When it hit the ground, somebody tipped it forward a little bit. They get another chance, don't they, Munster, but very, very sloppy.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Well, having defended the line out, now Zebre have got to defend the scrum.
Down here.
But
Yeah,
down
he's
we
struggling.
go.
Diarmuid Barron is struggling there to get a strike, right? And that's down to the pressure.
Shoulders up.
You know, the scrums are rock solid. We saw the last one there where the ball wasn't struck back. Casey had to go in and reach for it, but
Nocera and Fischetti either side of Tommaso Di Bartolomeo. Up against Oli Jager, Josh Wycherley either side of Diarmuid Barron.
Crouch! Bind!
And Munster get the free, and around goes Casey and goes quickly. And Fitzgerald almost bursts his way through. Munster still coming. Did they get a hand out there? Almost there. Third effort at that line. Munster knocking on the door. Zebre really good scramble defence. It's been held up inches again, but this time it's too much, and it's Coombs who crashes over on the day of his 100th cap for Munster. Gavin Coombs gets the try that should really settle Munster down.
Yeah, for sure. I think they had the penalty coming. He does a little wrap around here, doesn't he, Coombs? Ruan Quinn goes close. And then Coombs, when he gets into this position, he's so hard to stop. You see that little wrap there? And Ruan Quinn, who's made some really good carries, dynamic carries himself. No defence on that far side. Casey just stands back. Vital score, you think, for Munster 20 minutes into the game. Some errors, they started off well. They had to get a score there, particularly after losing that line out. Simple stuff, round the corner, exerting power and pressure, and they get rewarded. No surprise, it's Gavin Coombs who gets over the line.
Oh, Butler, over it goes. Well, the clock on our screen said 30 odd seconds. Holly Davidson had a different time on it, and Butler, well, he improvised really well, the young man, because he couldn't get the ball to settle on the tee. They're going to have to clean up that clock, because for Butler, he thought he had more time. Holly Davidson tells him he doesn't, but he figured it out. All 7 points to Munster.
That's a great strike from him under massive pressure. He was about to drop goal. Putters tried to drop goal. Goes in off the post. Could be vital in the end of this game.
Well, the clock says 5, but by my reckoning, that one went over. We'll hopefully get confirmation shortly.
Yeah, the scoreline is wrong on the screen. It definitely went over. The touch judges put the flags up. Taken back in by Munster here, and you know, after getting that score, it's a mistake again.
7 points confirmed as we head into the second quarter of what's been a pretty engaging game.
Yeah, both sides trying to play, keep it alive, look for offloads. The conditions are perfect. And again, it's no major surprise that you're going to get some errors and mistakes here. That cohesion takes a little bit of time for teams to get.
Di Bartolomeo has had a couple of misfires, but not on that occasion. Finds Ruggeri at the front of the Zebre line-out, and then they go to the maul, and it's Di Bartolomeo at the back, who's separated for just a moment, and Barron gets in there. Where's the ball as it goes to ground? It's there for Fusco, and Zebre are okay. Advantage maybe being played. Holly Davis has put the arm down. We'll continue and keep an eye on that. Zebre take it into contact once more. Fusco and then Morisi, and wide they go, and out it finds its way to Trulla. Jacopo Trulla is in the corner. Terrific try from Zebre. Worked it really well in tight, and a couple of clinical crisp passes across the three-quarter line, and Munster had no defensive answer.
Yeah, they're bunched way too tight. It's this little wraparound here. Attacker Abrams just comes in that little bit too much. If you come up and in like that, you've got to cut off the pass. But what a brilliant score. Superb. It came from Munster's exit, where they, you know, gave Zebre a line out in their own 22. Super little wraparound, and this is the pass, the width of that pass. Brilliant.
Yeah, Prisciantelli, most carries last week with 30, the former Argentinian 7s and 20s, and you could see that pass. That was right out of the experienced 7s playbook. Just drew the defender and had the ability to get the yardage out to that man, Jacopo Trulla.
Yeah, they executed it superbly.
Referee says no. Again, the clock on the screen and the referee are at odds. What's not in question is that was a terrific 5.
Lovely little dance by him at the end as well. After that try. Knew coming into this game, saw him so much last year. He's so dangerous, as his partner on the other wing, Simone Gesi. Electric players. Unfortunately, another mistake from Munster. Tony Butler overcooks that. They've taken it quickly.
Zebre absolutely warm to this one. Fusco, well, Munster offside, retreated. Referee not interested in the retreat, offers the penalty. Gesi, well, he had one eye on the defender.
I think that one's a little bit harsh on Munster, the penalty, because in my opinion Fusco puts his hands on the ball. Another change here. Shane McCarthy is going to come on.
Yeah, already disrupted. McCarthy's going to come in. Fitzgerald already on for Shane Daly. McCarthy in. Just trying to see who's gone. Di Bartolomeo will set the Zebre line out. They'll arrive late, they'll look to claim, and no doubt a maul will be the first port of call. Munster get up to try and disrupt. Away comes Locatelli, and into the midfield it goes. Munster defensively at work again as Fusco looks to draw Ryan, who didn't bite, and helps to make the tackle. Fusco again, little show, little go, and off he goes, Fusco! Second try for Zebre. Terrific work from the scrum half. Just for a moment Munster backed off, and in he went.
Great opportunistic score. It's Oli Jager, he just jumps out there, gives that inside gap. He's got to stay as that pillar. Fusco, too experienced and good. Brian Fitzgerald tries to stop him, but he gets there. Again, Munster punished. 2 errors, 2 tries. Just cannot give simple opportunities like this. It's basic stuff, isn't it? All the Munster forwards are outside waiting to attack. Carriers there. You've got to protect your inside out, and unfortunately he knows that, Oli Jager himself. But well taken try by Fusco. It comes from the kick-off, goes straight out. Tony Butler, Trulla runs up the halfway line, takes a quick throw in field, and then there's a penalty and they kick it down there. So it's their own doing, and they're given a Zebra team who are very dangerous in attack, look like they're really confident, simple opportunities to punish them. They've done that.
Well, a mistake this time from Zebre on the restart, and it's Munster who immediately get a foothold inside the Italian club's 22. They'll get the scrum.
Yeah, and I think the key from is not to panic. You can focus on the mistakes and errors. I think the good thing is if you recognise that as a team and understand it and react to it, that's all you can do. They can't change that now. They've just got to be a bit better.
Well, we had a shot of Massimo Brunello just before that one of Graham Rowntree, and the Italian coach has got to be thrilled with where his side are at as we approach the half-hour mark. Rowntree, not so. He was full of praise for their resilience and ability to react last week against Connacht.
He needs a reaction again, doesn't he? It was about 7 or 8 minutes ago. Munster were 7-3 up. They concede a penalty, 2 tries. Sorry, they missed the long-range penalty, but they've conceded 2 tries, and suddenly they find themselves in a short space of time 8 points down against a team, when they're away from home. They've got to regroup here and show that bit of character, but control, I would say. Do the simple stuff well. We saw what the try came from when Casey gets that bit of territory down there. Direct runners for the Coombs try.
Great platform again for Munster. Scrum is a real arm wrestle. Munster look to use the short side. Butler takes it into contact. He had McCarthy outside him. Coombs will sweep it away, and Munster will look to build from maybe 10 metres short of the Zebre line. Nice little pop pass back inside from Barron. It was taken on by Hodnett, and now it's Coombs, and Casey's screaming for it. Little jink one way, then goes the other. Munster keep it short. Now a little bit more expanse on it as Tom Farrell is asked to charge at that Zebre defence. It's one out runners. It's using a blunt instrument, but they are making headway, and Wycherley almost gets there. Coombs goes in, looking for it once more. Casey leaves it for the big man, and over he goes. Gavin Coombs, second try of the half for a total yardage of about 3.
Yeah, again, so good there, and it's simple stuff. You said it, Ryle. Direct runners, physical, don't need to overcomplicate it. Casey just takes that little step, doesn't he, there, for that carry for Finney and Wycherley. Really good clean out there from Klein. Locatelli was sniffing at that ball, trying to get that turnover, but inevitable outcome here when Coombs is this close. He can just ride the tackle, take the bit of contact, and then surge forward with that power. They've got that reaction that they needed, so badly needed, Munster.
Ten seconds left on the conversion clock on screen. I think that was in sync with the referee on that occasion. And over it goes.
It's certainly given confidence. They get up there twice, they're direct, they're simple. You've got to grind the opposition down, and maybe at the start of the game it was a bit too easy, getting some width. Let's see what the reaction is from this kickoff. The last two, poor.
Away it goes from Montemauri, and that one will be taken up by Farrell. Casey likely to complete the exit. Good work from Munster defensively. It's a busy old period, of course, start of the season in Munster. When you look at their next 4 or 5 weeks, they've the Ospreys at home, but then it gets really tricky for them, no doubt about that. Leinster at Croke Park, followed by a trip to South Africa to take on the Stormers and then the Sharks. So you feel like they've got to take everything they can get right now to bring that on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 away games, 3 really difficult games. Such a successful time in South Africa last year.
Onside, guys, number 5.
It's going to be so difficult. It's harder and harder every time you go down there.
Just confirming it is Abrahams who's gone in, Shea McCarthy in. Here is McCarthy out to Farrell. That one, was it spilled by Haley? Knocked forward? No, says the referee. So Calvin Nash will wrestle away. But as Munster have found, everything at the breakdown has been a battle. They've won that one, and Casey gets on with it quickly, looking for support. It's there for Fitzgerald, who's been on since about the 8th minute when he took over from Shane Daly. Injury on the Zebre side. We'll get to that in a minute, because away goes Quinn. 5 metres short. Casey is Munster. Look for try number 3, and they're going to get it. It's a walk-in for Mike Haley.
Yeah, it's outstanding. What a break by Ruan Quinn. So dynamic and powerful. Such an exciting prospect as well. He's done really well in this game. Casey shows his experience there. Mike Haley just waiting there, lands in the breadbasket. Last ditch tackle, wasn't it, from Prisciantelli to stop Ruan Quinn. What a try it would have been if Ruan Quinn got there all the way. Not sure what Tony Butler was unhappy about. Maybe it's the late tackle on Casey. Players are talking about it now to Holly Davidson. I'm sure they're looking at it, if there was something in it. Yeah, Diarmuid Barron is.
I agree. I 100% agree it's a late tackle, but it's nothing.
So then Butler with his 3rd conversion, and over it goes, and Munster 21 points to 15 they lead.
Yeah, changed the whole course, isn't it? And again, I'm talking about, you know, the way Zebre got those 2 tries, Munster 2 quick tries, find themselves back in the lead before half-time. And there's a
the
reason
tackle.
for it, yeah. Just the tackle there. I think he's committed to it. Craig Casey's fine. There's not a lot in it.
I think it was Licata. Hold on.
Why are we stopping?
Primo cambio per il Zebre scende con il numero 3 Matteo Nocera
That's fine.
e sale con il numero 18 Juan Pitinari.
I think it's because the number 3 was on, yeah, but it's fine, we can play.
A little bit of confusion over on this near side with the fourth official. It's all cleared up, and on we go into the final 5 minutes of a first half that's flown by, and it's been a theme. The restarts have not been pretty for both sides. This time it's Munster who make the mistake and find themselves having to recover.
I tell you, it was a brilliant strike though. The hang time from that kick from Montemauri, really impressive. And that is a great kick from Casey.
Change in the front row for Zebre. The man you saw down earlier on was Matteo Nocera. He's been replaced by Juan Pitinari in the front row.
What a clearance, Ryle, from Craig Casey there. They're on the back foot there, Munster. Bit of hesitation in who's catching that ball. The hang time was really good. Alessandro Fusco not happy maybe with the distance that was given there, but it was a beautiful strike from Casey. Great clearance.
One in and one's out of the back.
Di Bartolomeo. All sorts of movement at the front. It goes to Gregory, and to the mole they go. Not the first time that that's happened in the opening 36.5 minutes. Fusco. Second try for Zebre if you're joining us late from the scrum half. The first coming from Trulla. 5 tries in this game so far, 2 for the home side, 3 for the visitors. Not being a coach-friendly game, I'm guessing from the coach's box all they see are the errors. From a neutral perspective, it's been very entertaining.
Yeah, Munster, I think, have sorted out their defence, their enthusiasm, energy. Little bit, we spoke about that reaction.
Yeah, no problem. It's not anyone involved in the scrum, though, so
Licata,
let's
who
go.
had a few big
Yeah,
moments.
time's still on.
He's getting driven across the field there. Can't get that go forward. Tries an offload.
Okay, time off.
Slight concern now for Munster in that Brian Fitzgerald is receiving attention, and Fitzgerald McCarthy already in because Daly and Abrahams had to go. Munster only have one more back on the bench. That's Conor Murray,
Let's go.
who will be making his seasonal debut. But this deep into the game, or this early I should say, into the game, to be looking at your back line and having to consider what might happen next is something that will no doubt be going on in the coach's box. For now, Fitzgerald okay to continue.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Don't think either side has got an inch out of the other in the scrum so far. And again, it's an absolute stalemate. Nicely pulled back by Butler for Calvin Nash, who gets a chance to stretch his legs, brings Mike Haley into the game. No protection from anyone for Craig Casey, who gets eaten up by the Zebre pack, but does well to hold on to possession. Again, the pass doesn't go to hand, but Munster clean it up, and the ball should be there as Danilo Fischetti gets his hands on it, but went over the ball, wasn't supporting his body weight, and Munster will get the penalty.
Yeah, he's unlucky, Fischetti. He goes down the elbows. Again, it's that picture right across the board. All referees, palms of hands on the ground and elbows. Got to support your own weight. Little bit fortunate, because I think if his technique is better there, potentially he gets rewarded. Sensible option here, I think, is put it over the bar if they can. You know, a couple of minutes nearly at half time. Ruan Quinn made a good low tackle.
It was the second bite.
It's the second one, yeah, and it's when you go down the flat with the forearms there. He's unlucky, a little bit better technique there.
They originally said corner, and I've misinterpreted this. Let's go.
Bit of indecision, I think, here as to what the right call is or what the collective
we
call.
talk about this. Yeah, we talk about this. Yeah. Time back on.
Holly sorted it out. Everybody's
He's not the captain though.
on the same page, and Munster, despite Alan Quillen's suggestion, are ignoring him and heading for the corner.
But the captain
Will they be rewarded with potentially...
The captain originally said corner. It's the captain's fault.
We'll see. Fischetti has been up talking to the referee about the fact that Munster, he felt, had already made a decision to go for the posts and they shouldn't then be allowed to go for the corner. Oli Davidson not interested. We are where we are, and Munster have got the platform of the line-out.
Yeah, let's see if they can execute it. They're gone to a 5-man with Hodnett at scrum half.
Mo in the 5.
Coombs and then Hodnett and then Fitzgerald on the crash ball there for Casey.
Thank you.
Coombs again drives the legs.
Tackle release.
Yards after contact, always so significant from Gavin Coombs. Munster, maybe an opportunity out wide for that bonus point try. They have it! It's Fitzgerald on his competitive debut. Brian Fitzgerald in for Munster's bonus point try in the first half in Parma.
Yeah, it's a lovely moment for Brian Fitzgerald. Ball goes loose there, but Mike Haley, Gesi just comes in, bites in a little bit, and Fitzgerald there, clear path. Craig Casey's decision making has been really good. I think they lost their shape a little bit, but he's running onto that ball. Haley does brilliantly. What a moment for him.
The smile. That's years of hope and wonder and could I and might I, and then I do.
Very simply as well, I was totally wrong saying Tony Butler should kick at goal because they scored a try. The problem is when you don't score and you go to the corner and there's a kickable penalty.
Conversion attempt into the blue sky is good once again. And that will be that for a first half where Munster stuttered and stumbled at times and Zebre made them pay with tries from Trulla and Fusco, a penalty as well. And it looked like they were comfortable and going to cause Munster problems, but Coombs with 2, Haley. Sun continues to shine in Parma. The teams arrive back out for the start of the second half. 28 points to 15 in the visitors' favour. And I wonder, Alan Quinlan, was that a happy Munster changing room at half-time?
A happy scoreline for them, but I think a little bit of frustration at times. They made it difficult for themselves, but again, they reacted. They were direct and they did the basics really well. They punished Zebre.
We often say it, but the next score crucial. If Munster were to get a 5th try and a further 5 to 7 points away, it would probably be too steep a hill for Zebre to climb. Were they to score next, it would very much be game on. As Fusco finds a good clearance, but Munster will have the throw to the line out. If you're joining us late, changes in the Munster side from the starting 15. Brian Fitzgerald, Shane McCarthy in, Shane Daly out with what looked like a pretty bad injury, it has to be said. Unsure of the injury on Abrahams as Hodnett hits the line and is held on to. After it went Licata, who's had another good game after a terrific game last week. 8 defenders beaten, 4 offloads, 18 tackles. He's been invaluable again for Zebre, and that one is picked off by Trulla. Now he's got pace. Trulla has Butler. The angle, no he doesn't. Trulla away. They've got what they needed. The first score of the second half. It's a second try for Jacopo Trulla, a 3rd on the afternoon for Zebre, and it's game on in Parma.
Yeah, it's too easy, isn't it? It's a shocking pass from Mike Haley. Trulla so quick. Tony Butler looked like he was running pretty close to him, but was never going to get him. You just mentioned it there. They score in the first half, get the first score of the second half, and it comes off a kind of a static, standing, sluggish scenario. It's a big wind-up, isn't it? It's easy for him to pick that off, and so dangerous and quick. You can see Tony Butler, he just can't close that space and get towards the touchline to him. And again, it's Munster's a poor error decision from Mike Haley with that pass. Brings them right back into it.
Montemauri with the conversion attempt from way out wide. Assistants keep their flags by their sides, and it's just the 5. Back to an 8-point game, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Not alone was it a big wind-up from Haley, but it was in traffic, it was at height, and it was over a long distance. It all combined to an easy pick for that man and his second try of the evening. Off we go. Zebre will be buoyed, confident, comfortable after a start that they would so have hoped for to this second half. Fusco just shovels it on one. Standard kicking from the base of the breakdown from both scrum halves has been right out of the top drawer.
Yeah, they're two internationals, you'd expect it, but it doesn't always happen, does it? It's difficult with whatever kind of pressure you've been put under. He's a good player. Fusco has his case. We saw him with some great clearances as well in the first half.
Shortened line out for Munster. Barron, 2-try Coombs, and through the hands of Fitzgerald in midfield. Haley, that's a better pass out to Calvin Nash. He's had precious little opportunity with ball in hand. Here's Oli Jager, ships it on, does so well. Confirmation of the first half substitution in the front row of Pitinari in for Nocera. We're going to get a penalty at the breakdown. It's that man Locatelli who's pinched the ball. Jager has a little look around to say, where was the support?
Yeah, it's easier for defenders there when you don't get over the gain line. Munster get a little bit of width that time. Calvin Nash cuts back in, and when you go back into that heavy traffic, it's about finding little pockets there, getting shoulders. Jean Klein with the carry, he gets onto his back, doesn't he? Ruan Quinn just slides off, and correct call. Locatelli, he's on loan from Viadana. Powerful, abrasive player. It's his second turnover.
Di Bartolomeo started nervously with the throws to the line out, but he's corrected that. He's found his range, and this has been the weapon of choice so often in this position from Zebre in this first half. Clean take, go to the maul, no change out of it, and go to the back line where Luca Morisi is asked to carry. There for Fusco. Slow ball, deliberate, easy to defend from Munster's perspective. Fusco again steps over it. Morisi once more is the man to be asked to carry. Back to Montemauri. No change. 22 is the gain line. Di Bartolomeo up to that gain line. Goes to ground, and after it goes Coombs, and he's warned to get his hands off it, which he does just in time. That's messy, but Gesi picks it up. Zebre forced backwards on the last couple of carries. Di Bartolomeo, the hooker, once more. Fusco. This time it's Licata, but he's forced backwards. It's Josh Wycherley on this occasion. Good defensive set from Munster, who have forced Zebre back by maybe 15 yards or so. And now more from their own 22, almost to the halfway line. Almost away is Prisciantelli. Ruggeri. Fusco. Zebre head back towards that Munster 22 again. Lots of possession, not a lot of momentum, and almost picking it off is Shane McCarthy, but it was knocked forward. We almost had the second interception of this second half that finished under the sticks, but McCarthy just couldn't hold on.
Yeah, you can do that as a winger, can't you? When those defensive hits, as you said, are strong, they're dominant, they're winning that gain line. And that was a better set for Munster. You've got to enjoy those moments too when you can get on that front foot. They drove Zebre back there on a number of occasions. He's unlucky. I think he clatters off Gregory a little bit there, and that's the ball comes loose. But if he could have got that clear, he was gone, wasn't he?
Lots of experience on the Munster bench this week. Two of them are called for. Jeremy Lockman and John Ryan in for Josh Wycherley and Oli Jager. Looking at that Munster bench still to come, Niall Scannell, Jack O'Donoghue, Conor Murray. Jager's put in a decent shift. Scrum's been a real battle.
It's been good. I think good from both sides. You're always going to get that pressure from the Italian sides. They're very powerful. Nocera, Bartolomeo, Fischetti. They acquitted themselves well. I think Jager looked back, of course, and see that break, that gap he left for Fusco in the first half for that try. I don't think it'll happen him again. I'd nearly be assured it won't happen him again, because it can happen everyone at some point, but he'll never move from that pillar position again.
Oh, that'll be video room fear between now and Monday morning. Big scrum from Munster with the new props in town as Lockman and Ryan go to work, but Zebre still have the ball, and Fusco and co look to go forward. Nice flat pass to Prisciantelli, almost gets Zebre out wide. Taken on by Ruggeri again. He's carried and carried well. This time it's Prisciantelli who has the ability to distribute as much as anything else. Really good playmaker, the Argentinian. That Seven's experience in those wide channels, the ability to find a pass where others can't. Munster again go about their work and that defensive set, and they've knocked Zebre back from where they came. Taken on by Danilo Fischetti, 44 times capped for Italy. Now it's Matteo Canali probing around the breakdown. A little bit of joy, a couple of meters on that occasion. Now it's Montemauri who slips it on. Trulla, 2 tries to his name already. 2 tries for Gavin Coombs, remember, also. Fusco, that's a poor pass. Puts his team on the back foot when they look a little tired from all the effort that's got them going nowhere. And Munster sees the opportunity to squeeze Zebre down inside their own half. It's all been about the Munster defence for the last 6 or 7 minutes. And that pressure means that Fusco and co have got to kick it away. And Haley comes forward. Back on the Zebre side, and back with Zebre once more. Krumov. They've put a lot into this effort. Ooh, almost away from Morisi. He got a shoulder to the head, I think, as he tried to get the ball away, and rightly Holly Davidson stops the game. I have to say, on first viewing, that one accidental. It most likely will prove to be, but nonetheless very painful, and the referee right to stop.
Yeah, certainly right to stop. Let's see it again here.
Oh,
yeah, he's
Calvin
falling.
Nash on a falling Luca Morisi.
They will look at it for sure.
Oh, they have to look at it, no question.
Definitely falling into Calvin Nash. I'm not sure there's a lot he can do there, Calvin Nash.
Okay.
On the plus side, Morisi is up.
And deems the Munster player to be legal as 12 is falling suddenly. So no foul play. It's going to be your scrum when we restart.
Referee and TMO, who is from Wales, by the way, Neil Hennessy, have had their say and a view.
Suddenly falls?
Is that it was, well, what's loosely called a rugby collision.
Yeah.
Your view on that, Alan?
Yeah, I think it's the right one. Neil Hennessy's the TMO and players falling down. Calvin Nash is not making any movement forward as regards that last little. He's not driving his shoulder forward to put in a big hit. He's absorbing everything that Morisi falls straight into him. Obviously in slow motion it looks a little bit worse. Thankfully the player is back up and he's okay, he can continue on, but I think it's the correct call. Because if you're giving a penalty, then it's probably more.
Oh yeah.
So if it is foul play, it's probably more. So I think they got it right there.
Free kick from the scrum as Munster engage a little early in the competition. And the DJ continues to play. 8 points in at 50 minutes on the clock. Zebre go in search of a second try of this second half, which would be a bonus point try. They've 3 in total. Good work to try and create some room, and they've done just that, and Gesi is almost away. Tackled by Calvin Nash. Fusco as Fischetti arrives at pace. Good work from the captain. Prop continues to drag his side forward. Fusco again, the timing of the runs. This time it's Di Bartolomeo. And again, a pick and go from Locatelli. Zebre inch ever closer to what would be a bonus point try. And in this moment would be a try that could bring them to within a point of Munster. On they go, advantage being played, try awarded. Terrific play from the home side. And it's the number 8 Licata who comes up with the ball with the final play. Zebre, well, the angles of running on every occasion, on every carry in that period of play were right what they needed to be.
Yeah, it's great strength. He pops it off initially to Bartolomeo and then comes around a little bit like Gavin Coombs when you get close to that line, and he is so powerful. You don't want Craig Casey to want to have to be making that tackle, but Munster punished, and credit to Zebre. They were direct, they were aggressive, they picked and went up the middle, and they punished Munster there. It comes off that free kick in the scrum.
Montemauri adds the additional 2, and we are at a 1 point game. And you can bring that all the way back. 2 terrific angles of running. One from Simone Gesi, and then from the prop forward and captain Danilo Fischetti, that just gave that momentum to Zebre. Quick ball at each breakdown, another runner, and Munster were at 6s and 7s defensively as they make a change, and Jack O'Donoghue comes into the game.
Yeah, Ruan Quinn, I think, is going off, who made some really good carries. Well, it's a little bit frustrating for Munster. I think the coach's box, they got it topsy-turvy last week, and they're certainly getting it again here. They look quite comfortable after half-time, but credit to Zebre. They're the ones that come out here. They've taken a chance. Trulla with the intercept, and they've been just piling on the pressure with possession, holding on to the ball for long periods, and just sensing that opportunity to bring it right back to a 1 point game. And they're certainly will start believing now that they can turn this around. Another exciting game this week for Munster. You know, they're in a good position at half-time with those 4 tries, but a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, speak to your hooker now, especially on their ball, take the step.
Giacomo Ferrari's on for Zebre as well now. Not sure which player is down. Is it Licata who's down?
Just checking back over the scores between these sides over the years, and you look at what Zebre have managed today. 27 points, best they managed before that back in 2013 when they scored 21 and conceded 43. no matter what, they're in rarefied air right now. Can they? Well, could they conceivably do what no one presumes they might and beat Munster at home in round 2 of the United Rugby Championship? A long, long way to go still in this one, but they're in the fight. Confirmation, Licata is gone and Ferrari is in as Zebre under their new coach Massimo Brunello. Just confidence flowing everywhere.
What a brilliant kick, outstanding. Not the correct decision, I think, from Tom Farrell to kick it in the backfield there. Munster probing up that blind side. Casey hodding it, trying to get some width in the game, but just think running the ball out of their own half. Trulla had a brilliant game, 2 tries, what a clearance for him.
Actually, 2013, Zebre managed 25 points. Still today, better than that, Coombs.
Yeah, Niall Scanlon as well for Munster.
Fusco, it's taken a little while, but he's able to dig it out.
Take a step, Munster.
Fusco to the air once more. Haley has to put his, it's not actually Haley, it's Tony Butler who had to put his hands up to his eyes just to
with that
keep
sun
an eye
as
on
well.
it.
Yeah, but Munster did well to get back and protect him, didn't they? He got knocked backwards. So important, your kick retreat. Jack O'Donoghue was back there, Shea McCarthy helping out. I just think they've weathered a little bit of a storm. They've got to try and change it a little bit now, maybe get the next score, build some pressure down there, but...
Terrific take from Montemauri mid-air and just about held on to as Locatelli drags his team forward. Munster player Hodnett is dragged over the Zebre side. Ball there for Fusco, and we'll see if Zebre can build from there. They look a little tired, a little weary in the last 2 minutes or so as Munster just come up and smash them down once again.
Yeah, both sides look like they're out on their feet. There's a lot of tackles. The ball is in play a fair bit.
23 degrees in Parma as well. Forward comes Butler, second time in the last 60 seconds he's commanded the airspace and retained possession. Haley shuffles it on under pressure, but shovels it to a Munster hand, and downfield it goes again. Here's Prisciantelli. Montemauri, Fusco, Di Bartolomeo, Fusco again. This is a real test of the early season fitness work. Gregory. Head down from Giacomo Ferrari. Fusco once more. This one is chased by Gesi, but has to try and reroute himself around a number of Munster players, and Mike Haley had all the time he needed. Casey trying to inject a bit of pace. Wycherley after it goes Locatelli, but he can't get his hands on it. Here's O'Donoghue out in the wide channels. Once he gets up ahead of steam, he's something significant you've got to try and stop. Here's Casey back to Butler. Had a little look up. Big moments for Butler in the final quarter now as he tries to control this game from Munster's perspective.
Yeah, another decent clearance as well.
The clearing out of hands, the kicking out of hand has been just
Montemauri.
really good.
Time off.
Yeah, it's tiring. Loads of changes now. They're emptying the bench.
12.
Zebre.
5. 5 Munster. 5. 1, 2 and 3.
I think it's the right time to bring on those fresh legs. So hot. Non-stop at times. Both centres gone. Morisi and Gregory played well. I think back to that game in Cork last year where it was Zebre who were the ones who got those early injuries in the back line. They were totally disjointed. The bench emptied early. Munster had 2 of them today.
O'Donoghue hodding it around the corner, comes Scannell and Casey, and then in midfield it's Jack Daly in for Finian Wycherley. Butler to the air, after it goes Calvin Nash, but it's watched and minded as Prisciantelli gathers the ball. Downfield it goes again, a little bit of pace being injected from both sides, but neither really wants to hold on to the ball, and we're going to play a little bit of kick tennis. And that one, well, he needed to watch it, did Shane McCarthy. Did just what he needed to do. Zebre, a little bit of field position. Fusco told to go the other way by the prop forward Rizzoli, and he does what he's asked. Fusco again, he goes, and he's going to repeat the dose, you know. Fusco! Alessandro Fusco! He did it in the first half, and Munster didn't pay enough attention because he's done it again. And would you believe it, Zebre lead in Parma.
Unbelievable, 3rd try of the second half, and he's caught Jeremy Lockman here. He got Oli Jager in the first half. Jeremy Lockman looks out. It's such basic stuff, and it's so frustrating for Munster, but scrum halves are always going to test you. He's a running scrum half. Gavin Coombs goes as well in behind Jeremy Lockman, but he's got to put his hand up there, stay locked into that pillar defender. You can't argue with it, Ryle. It's a mistake for Munster again, but Zebre have had all the pressure here. We got into a bit of kick tennis there. They won that battle. No territory in the second half for Munster, and they're badly punished again.
And the conversion from Montemauri is as straightforward as they come. He'll take every second out of the clock that he can and digs it over. Well now, do we have a final quarter in Parma? We most surely do. Oh, hook, line and sinker.
Yeah, it's terrible. It is, but you credit to the scrum half. They're always going to chance their arm there, and he can't believe it. That's the second time he's caught a Munster prop out.
Somewhere
6 points ahead. Who'd have thought? Munster haven't scored in the second half.
Somewhere Oli Jager's thinking it won't just be me in the video review on Monday. 34 points to 28, 5 tries Zebre.
Okay, Knight.
Zambonin in for Krumov.
Some more great clearance. They're just taking any bit of energy out of Munster, stopping them from play. But I think Munster have been caught a little bit in the second half, particularly not finding a way to get some territory. Bring up the wingers, put some kicks up along the touchline.
5 man.
28 points to 15 at half time. Munster still at that 28. Zebre 34.
And number 9.
23 and 21 into the game. 23 is Giacomo Da Re. 21 scrum half Patricio Baronio. Then he will come in for Fusco, who's at a game to remember. Also out goes the outside half Montemauri. Taken to the front of the line out by Jack O'Donoghue. Munster have a job of work to do, and Hodnett looks to punch a hole. After it goes Locatelli. Munster get caught, and then back they go, and through comes Zebre, and there's a purpose and a belief in this Zebre performance. Baronio going at scrum half.
It's your player, it's your knee.
narrow side, and they've created more space, you know, and Trulla and Prisciantelli have absolutely shredded Munster's defence. And the men in red shake their heads and look at each other. But Zebre have scored a 6th try. Wonderfully created and brilliantly executed, but where, oh where was the Munster defence?
Yeah, it's brilliant. This pass here is superb. Shea McCarthy looking in, and that man Trulla back to his partner Prisciantelli. We haven't seen a lot of him. He's a very, very dangerous player. What a score. They're cutting Munster apart and just been the dominant force in the second half, and it comes off a turnover in midfield. Hodnett carries up from the line out. One Munster player in trying to resource the breakdown, turned over easily, and then they get punished again. I'll probably keep using that word, but Zebre have been brilliant in this second half. Just put Munster on the back foot so often and really executed brilliantly. None more so than that try. Superb score.
"16 minutes left on the clock." And that one doesn't find home. 39 points to 28. Last week, Munster conceded 33 to Connacht. They rescued it by scoring 35. This week, they've conceded 39 already.
Yeah, it was a problem, massive problem last week. Sitting back in their heels a little bit. They're just lacking that defensive line speed. We saw some moments when they were under pressure early on in this second half where they defended pretty well, but they looked tired, fatigued, mistake after mistake, and
there's another one.
Yeah, so it's killing them really, because you know it's been a mixed bag from Tony Butler. Some brilliant moments, but you know, I spoke about the ones in the first half. It's difficult to get it all right, but it just sums up this second half for Munster that they need a quick score. There's 16, 17 minutes left. You think if they get some sort of pressure in that opposition half, they're capable of. They showed that in the first half, but incredibly tall order here, because I think Zebre have got more confidence, more dominance, and played brilliantly in the second half.
Well, the longest suffering supporters in this league over many namings and many variations are Zebre Parma, and they are having their moment. The Munster fans doing everything they can to raise the spirits of the travelling side, but right now it's the men in yellow and their home support who are in, well, fairyland from their perspective. They can't have imagined 6 tries and 39 points against one of the aristocrats of the league.
Yeah, they one win last year in the league. That was against the Sharks, I think, and you know, if they were to win in round 2 here at home, what a lift it would give them.
The coach, Massimo Brunello, has done really super work with the under-20 setup in Italy, which has gone from strength to strength. And from that under-20 side, a number of these players have come through the last 4 or 5 years under him and his team stewardship. Now he goes to what is the second club in Italy, and a decent performance last week. Irrespective of the result today, this is a significantly improved performance from Zebre. Nothing fluky or inconsistent about scoring 6 tries against Munster at any time of the year. Here's Prisciantelli, who's really been one of the leaders out there for Zebre. Their issue over the years has been finishing the job. That looked forward, and it is forward from Munster. And it's turning into a bit of a horror show for the team in red.
It is a horror show, and I think when they look back in this, and they sit down and reflect, unless they can change it around, which is highly unlikely at this stage, they turn the ball over to break down. Jean Klein, that's so poor from Jack O'Donoghue. Prisciantelli winning that kick in the air. They just control the tempo, haven't they? You know, it's just punished Munster at the times when they've been on the back foot, and they've got no foothold, no territory in the second half whatsoever.
Conor Murray is being ready to come in, and they need all that experience right now. Baronio, the substitute scrum half, and Paea, the Tongan international who's been introduced 9 times cap for Tonga, one of the few overseas players in this Zebre squad, along with Scott Gregory, who started in a 13 shirt. Knock forward, Munster get a reprieve.
Yeah, little chance. Trying that little tip-on pass there, just got their shape wrong. Pitinari with the pass.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Casey there. Can Munster find a way out of what has been a nightmare second half for them? Well, that's one way to go about it. That's the first real change we've seen from either side in the scrum. Munster had one a little earlier, but that was a statement of intent, and they need those sort of statements right now.
Yeah, they do. Penalty was the best option for him there, to try and get a little bit of territory, get a score on the board, and really hold on to the ball for a period of time.
Guys, let me come.
I think what happened in that first half, when they were very direct, they'd won out runners, forced things around the corners with real aggression and gain line success, that it rewarded them. A lot of the time, you know, the attack has been stifled by Zebre keeping their width and defending really well in unison.
Jan Klein at the front of the line, at Niall Scannell in at the back to try and get that maul. It's Route 1 rugby from Munster right now. Zebre just about 10 minutes away from a little bit of history and a first ever victory over Munster. It's robbed at the breakdown.
Yeah, it's another turnover. Locatelli, he's fortunate there, but the technique and the clean out from Munster wasn't efficient enough. But, you know, again, they're shipping the ball along the back line there, going nowhere really across the field, very lateral. It's so difficult to generate any sort of momentum. He's tackled on his back there, and see it again. Niall Scannell goes off his feet there. Jack Daly can't get that clean out there. That's the third one for Locatelli.
Well,
again, you think?
If you ever needed the experience of a player, you need the experience of Conor Murray right now. Butler is the one who's called ashore, which means Murray will go to out half, presumably. And Ribaldi will throw to the line out. Inside the Munster half, inside the final minutes. Zebre on the brink. It's been all home wins so far in round 2 of the URC. Leinster and Glasgow last night, the Lions and the Bulls already today. Zebre lead 39-28, and Munster will get the foot into the scrum. Don't forget, still to come today, the Scarlets at home to Cardiff. Connacht have the Sharks in town at 7:35. Ospreys at the same time have the visit of the Stormers. So much more to look forward to, but right now, in the 24th meeting of these sides over the years, it's Zebre who leads inside the final 10 minutes, looking for what would be their first ever victory in this encounter. Hard to believe that after 40 minutes, Munster led this by 28 points to 15 and looked in complete control.
And it's on the players. That, you know, it has to be on the players then for the way they reacted in the second half. For some unknown reason, they've got ahead of themselves, and it was summed up really with that gift of a try and that pass from Mike Haley to Jacopo Trulla right after half-time. So many mistakes in their game, and psychologically, you think the players have dropped their standards, dropped their guard.
Well, they're not done yet. You write Munster off at your peril, but the clock in the bottom of your screen is very much against them. 11 points the margin.
Number 2 standing up under
pressure. They've missed Nankerville as well. You know, that penetration, that 12, that control there. Tom Farrell usually plays as 13. Daly gone off Abrahams. Times it looked like it could be so easy for Munster, but yeah, they've really made it difficult for themselves all the time. And if you're giving the opposition easy scores, easy territorial game at times, you've got to really ask questions. And I think when they look back at this, so many questions about this second half performance, their enthusiasm, their work rate, and maybe tactically just mistakes, I think. And you know, you have days like that, unfortunately, but when you come out after half-time, Ryle, you said it, if Zebre scored the first score here, they start to believe a little bit, and they did, and it just went, a lot of it went wrong for Munster.
They're not done yet. Niall Scannell, they've been in a number of holes in the history of the club, and very often they found a way of digging themselves out. This is one of those holes. They've got to find something, and they've got to find something really quickly. Murray pings it on to Haley, who tries to run over Trulla, and Trulla's hurt in the contact. Casey. Farrell. Very little out of Farrell in this second half. That has much to do with what the pack have done in front of him. Klein carries Murray. Coombs on the day of his 100th cap. It was all going so well. 2 tries in the bag. And now they're chasing shadows. Here's Farrell once more. Tackle from Rizzoli. Casey, Murray, back inside. Shane McCarthy, door slam shut in his face. Into the Zebre half, Munster go. Haley, tackle is from Gregory. Casey once more, look at the clock, almost inside the final 5 minutes.
First player.
It's been turned over. They've done it again. They've absorbed, they've taken all the punches, and they've thrown one back. And that's deep inside the Munster 22. Anywhere will do right now inside the Munster half from a Zebre perspective. Trying to run it out is Calvin Nash, who's caught in possession. Off the feet is Giacomo Da Re, has to step back from it. But look where Munster are now, back inside their own 22, and the pass from Haley is a poor one, and back goes McCarthy again. It's going to need a little bit of individual magic from someone like McCarthy to break the line and get Munster deep inside that Zebre half, because right now it's a wall of yellow that faces them, and they have no way through or around it. Another big tackle, this time on O'Donoghue, completed by Simone Gesi. Back inside to Wycherley, dragged down by Rizzoli. Still gets the ball away to Ryan. 4 minutes left on the clock. Pull back, all very lateral. Haley, little duck, little dive, little jink, and back inside it goes to Fitzgerald. Munster holding on, the tackle will be checked. Murray out wide, McCarthy, they're not done yet. End to end from Munster. In the first weeks of this new season, boy are Munster doing drama.
Yeah, a lot of hard work there. Good finish in the end. It was Mike Haley who did brilliantly to step back inside. got disjointed, get the offload alive there, and they're going to look at that tackle on Brian Fitzgerald as well. Gets turned upside down. They are looking and talking about it now.
Tackle is from Scott Gregory. We didn't see the finish of it there, but it didn't look good in real time, and it didn't look good for the half of the replay that we saw there. In goes McCarthy, out wide though, and the conversion attempt will be from Conor Murray. 39-33, it remains.
Yeah, they'll get one last chance, you think. Oh, it's so difficult to find any sort of incision or gain line success in this second half. Cohesion really, and building pressure just hasn't happened. Giving themselves a lifeline with that Shea McCarthy try. Basis of what we've seen the second half, it would be a steal if they were to go up the field and somehow win this game.
Giacomo Da Re is the man who restarts. The referee and her TMO happy that there was nothing to see in that tackle, and on we go. Inside the final 2 minutes, it's pretty clear for Munster. A converted try and they'll snatch it at the death. But it's a long way from where they are now to under the sticks at the far end, and Fitzgerald gets caught in possession. Quickly Casey is there. They're trying to work spaces. Nash steps back inside. Well, as September season openers go, Munster have had a cracker in terms of entertainment. Connacht last week, Zebre this week. The supporters, well, they've been on the edge of their seat since the start of the season. They're on the edge of their seat once more. Zebre go after it and turn it over, and that could be it. 60 seconds left on the clock, and Zebre have stolen the ball, and to a man and to a woman in the Stadio Lanfranchi, they're on their feet.
Yeah, it was Pitinari, I think. He got locked onto the ball there. Yeah, they're going to have a shot here, run the clock down. Deservedly so. It's so difficult there when you're fatigued to try and run it out there. You could do with someone like Tucker Abrahams to get him the ball in those really difficult positions, but yeah, John Klein is trying to get Locatelli out. He can't shift two of them there. What a win. What a performance in this second half from Zebre. Outstanding energy, aggression, tempo to this second half. Huge frustration from Munster with some of the scores they coughed up, mistakes they made. They'll have to learn. It's a harsh lesson for them. It is very early season stuff. Second game in, but huge frustration, and certainly a lot to look at.
On its way, and over 40 it goes. But more importantly from Zebre's perspective, the whistle goes. No trophies given out, no medals received. But don't let that take away from a historic moment in the evolution of Zebre Rugby.